Okay, well, welcome to the Family Business Podcast. Maybe adjust that so it hits me. Yeah. And then this one looks good on you. So, okay, so Koby and I decided we wanted to create a little podcast. We talk business all the time. Father and son. Koby's my oldest, 22. I'm 47. We've got business together, and we started it a little over 2 years ago, so 2 years and 3 months or so ago. It's a summer, warm weather type business. It's called Roof Max, and so we're in our off season, and so, you know, we don't want to just take time off. We want to just keep working. So we're going to take this opportunity to just talk like we always talk, and then, you know, make plans and tackle challenges that we have in the business. And so I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I think it'll help a lot of other business owners that maybe are running into similar things, and it'll help them, you know, kind of see some situations that we're in, or marketing things that work or don't work, and lessons that we learn along the way.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be kind of cool.
Yeah. So let's just do a quick update. Tell me what, like, year over year, what the change has been, what sales did you do your first year and second year, and then I'll probably have some other questions.
Sure. Yeah. So we started in October of 21, and we only had time in the season for like a handful of jobs. So we did a handful then, and then 2022, that summer and spring was our first full year. I think we finished out at like 160,000. I think it was like 158. Somewhere around there. So pretty good for our first year. It was, you know, I think we sprayed like 45 roofs, and then this summer we finished out at about 67, I want to say, and then we did a couple of re-roofs and a couple other things, but finished out, I think we're right below 230 right now, like 225, 228, somewhere in that range. So yeah, it's been a pretty good year, but our goals were kind of higher. I think we both were wanting to double, and so it was, I don't know, we learned a lot this year. I think especially for me, you know, you're very hands off with it. You let me kind of learn and figure things out the hard way sometimes because I have to. But yeah, I think it was a good year. We learned a lot, and you know, I don't know. I think it went pretty well.
You still haven't learned how to say roofs, but...
Roofs, I don't know how to say it.
Roofs. Like it's some kind of a dog bark, or the other one you do is roofs. Roofs, which I'm sure is...
I don't know why it's a hard
grammatically
thing for my mouth to like say roofs.
Roofs.
I'm a roofer. Can't say roof. But yeah, I don't know. I've definitely learned a lot of things. We tried some things with marketing that maybe didn't work. We were really aggressive, and I think just the year and the market and how it was, things didn't quite... It felt like I did twice as much work, but didn't see twice the revenue, you know, as we were kind of expecting. So learned some things, and I don't know. We've kind of expanded a lot, too. It's been cool. We found some cool things with the solar industry and how it can help some of our clients get into a new roof a lot better, you know, get some cool tax incentives and rebates and things that just make it a lot, you know, make more sense. And then we just started doing heat cable, and it's, you know, obviously pretty important here in Utah. We've got some pretty harsh winters. It's definitely not the ideal conditions for, you know, your regular asphalt shingle roof. So
last year was like a 50-year winter. We had so much snow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I think it's slowing. You know, this winter's definitely been a little more mild than last year. We were done halfway through November, I think, and it snowed and then didn't stop. So, and that winter went real long, and we weren't prepared for that too. That was something that we, you know, had to figure out how to get through. That's kind of a tricky thing with it being so seasonal. It's off and on, and can make things tricky.
So tell me about, let's talk marketing. I think, you know, looking back over the year, and I'm talking about everything you do. So networking, all the paid advertising that we do, the, you know, traditional and digital, like talk to me about what's been the most effective. What do you feel like, oh, that worked well? What do you feel like didn't work or didn't return on investment?
Yeah. So obviously the number one thing is the magazines. That was the first thing that we started, obviously.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right? And it's really nice because it's small local magazines, so it's very I don't know, it's just very
hyper local.
Yeah, and people read it a lot because they
Right.
love it. There's good stories about, things that are happening in the community. But so we started that on day one, and it seems like we get the most steady amount of, leads from that go through, and they're really high quality leads. So we may not get as high of an influx as some of our digital stuff like Facebook and things like that, because we're obviously running things on there, and we get a ton of leads from that, but a lot of them are just, you can never get a hold of them, so it's nice because you get a bunch of volume, and sometimes it goes really good, and then sometimes it goes really bad, depending on the time of the year and stuff like that. So those are probably the two main things. And then I'm
from a
also
paid advertising standpoint.
Yep. And then obviously, as far as networking goes, I'm a part of a BNI group. So we joined that pretty much day one too, and they're awesome. So it's been cool just building connections and friendships with other business owners, and it helps me see a lot of similar industries and people, and I've learned a lot from that too. But maybe not as high of a return on interest as some of our other stuff. I don't get a huge amount of leads from it, but it's good to be, connected with people. So, and then the last thing that we tried was direct mail, every door, and it just didn't quite work. There's a dealer up in Heber, and they do a ton of business off of direct mail. So I had a phone call with her, and she was like, "This is killing it for us. We probably get 70% of our clients from these mailers." And I was like, "Let's do it." And so we threw a ton of money into it, and it just didn't quite work.
About $10,000 we threw into it. And
and it just,
we probably sold about $10,000 or $12,000 worth of stuff, but that's not your profit. That's just your sales. So
for sure. And so it's pretty much paid for itself. We made maybe a little bit I think we broke even on it, but it was.
Did we?
But still, I was expecting a lot more from that, and so, yeah.
So tell me, you were just telling me about what you guys did as a BNI group this morning.
Oh, it was kind of cool. So obviously it's getting close to Christmas, and so
it's the 23rd,
22nd, 22nd, so we all went out. We didn't have a BNI meeting this morning. We all just went to breakfast at Jeremiah's, and we all brought a bunch of cash. Everybody just grabbed whatever extra cash, and we put it all together, and then tipped the waitress at the end, and it ended up being $1,435.
Wow,
it was pretty sweet.
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
She ended up telling us that she was a single mom of 3, and so helped her out in
that's
kind
huge.
of a tough spot, but it was just kind of cool.
That's
I think
Christmas.
the video's out there somewhere. I think somebody
Really?
probably put it on Facebook, but yeah, that was kind of a cool experience, and they're just an awesome group. They're so cool.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
so yeah.
How many are in your group?
So there's 34, 35 different chairs in there. It's always changing. We have so many people joining, and some people.
And how many
leave.
came 3 days before Christmas?
I think we had 20 something, 20 something, right around there.
Pretty
I don't
good.
know.
Yeah,
it was a pretty good turnout.
I know you have a pretty good group. I've gone and subbed for you a couple times, and I have an employee that was a part of that group for a little while too. But it's a good group. They're really tight knit, really good friends, and do a lot of business with each other, which is good.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's cool. People will come and visit, and they're like, "Man, I want to join your group. Your group is awesome."
Yeah,
it's just different. We just have good chemistry and good energy.
Are you the youngest guy in the group?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, by
a long ways.
I think probably about 8, maybe 10 years. There's one guy that's pretty close. He's closer. But then after that, no, not Andre. It's Dallin. I think he's 28 or 29. But
wow, yeah, they've kind of adopted Koby. He's the mascot. They really like him, and the ladies in the group, they always flirt with him, and just talk about how he's got this soothing voice and all this funny stuff. So everybody's always impressed that you're 22 and doing all this stuff. And but it's good.
Know. It's kind of funny because for me it's imposter syndrome. It's I feel like I'm just faking it till I make it, and just trying to emulate the things that I see in the people in that group that are really good business owners and are successful. So it's been good for me to have that every week just along the way. But.
So talk the very first job, or one of the first 2 or 3 jobs you did was a HOA.
This year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
earlier this year. Mm-hmm. Talk about that job.
Yeah, so really big job down in Salt Lake. It was an HOA community, and just somebody a lady on the board. Her name's Lisa, and I actually made a little video with her. Just did a little interview, talked to her about the service and everything, and I think it was about 23,000 square feet. So they had gotten some bids for replacement, and I think it was somewhere around 110,000 to replace both their 2 big buildings. So we did that. We got it all done in a day. Saved them like 70 grand, which was awesome for her because then they didn't have to raise their HOA fees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And nice because it's not like a 2-week project, because ripping a roof off that's that big takes a long time, and it's a mess. And people can't park in the parking lot. There's nails everywhere. So it was kind of cool. And just talking to her, we went back out just recently when I did that video just to do some tests and see how the shingles are holding up. It's a big roof, and so especially in Utah, it's good to monitor things and have things checked on, especially after all winter and then all summer. But
I think that's the thing I'm most excited about, is that little piece that we just started going back out to people who had already, who we've done treatments for over the last 2 years, and just call them and say, hey, we'll come do a free roof inspection. Let's come check it out, see how it's going. The reason we did it is because we've had 2 times, I think, a roofer get called out because somebody was concerned that what we did actually did what we say it does, and we wouldn't represent it if it didn't. But so we've had 2 different times where people ended up getting new roofs, and it was frustrating because we were like, the roofer, of course, wants the new job, right? So they're going to be like, oh, it didn't do anything, so yeah, you'd have to get it replaced. And I was like, that's such BS. It just made me mad. But it also makes you question. So I'm like, well, we better go check. And so we started going back to some of the original treatments that we've done, and just super impressed with RoofMax. It's been awesome. And so we're going to go to everybody and call them if they'll let us. I mean, hopefully they'll let us come out, but go to their house, jump up on the roof, do a quick inspection, and it'll be great because the ones that'll qualify for a second treatment will be top of mind. They'll know who we are, and instead of those people who did RoofMax one time 5 years ago, they'll be friends that we've taken care of over the time. And if there are any problems that we can, because roofs are a challenging landscape, they are going to have problems even with RoofMax, and so sometimes you're going to have nails back out, you might lose a shingle or 2, and so we can replace those. We can do whatever we need to do to help get the maximum value for them in their roof. And so I think that's a super good customer service, and then B, it's a really good thing for our long-term business to build that kind of reputation.
For sure. Seems like people love it too, because I come out, and even if if there's like a pop nail or something, I'll just hammer it back in, throw some sealant over it. And like we've said before, it's it's a rough climate for roofs, and so things happen. You got to monitor things, and it'll be good to check on our customers.
It's important to check on those roofs.
Yep, on those riffs.
That's awesome. I tease him all the time, so if you don't know that. But all right, so family business. That's what we're going to call this. We're going to talk. We're going to try and bring challenges we're facing in the business. We're going to bring marketing ideas. We're going to just talk business, and I think it'll be fun. We're going to do it once a week and see how it goes. Yeah,
I'm excited. I think it'll be good. So hopefully people watch it.
Everybody thinks it's super cool that we're in business together, father and son, and so it's pretty fun. So it's been a good journey to get here. So, okay, well, until next time.
Yeah, until next week.
Family business.